Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have the most inspirational show for you. I can't wait. We are actually streaming this to the Secret Sauce group. So if you're not in the Secret Sauce group, get on in there, girl. So go to Facebook and type in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating, because I stream a lot of the shows that show up here in the group. So you can comment, cheer people on, ask questions. It's the place to be. And then you get updates on what's going on with Heal Your Hunger and first dibs on cool things we're doing, free tickets to events and so such and such. So anyway, this guest of mine, OMG, she's so awesome, came to Heal Your Hunger with anxiety and overworking and just kind of not being her best self. Do you relate to that? Is that something you relate to? So I think you'll find a lot of yourself in her story, because she had a lot of different places of discomfort and just not being herself. And so there might be something you relate to, and if not, a lot of things you relate to. But her story is amazing, and her transformation is amazing. And I am hoping this inspires you for sure. If you're somebody who's like so ready for a new life, definitely reach out. Do not try to do this alone. My experience is the quickest, fastest way to transform your life is to do it with support, with coaching, with a plan. Like, get a plan. If you don't have a plan, and I don't mean a diet plan, hello, let's move on from that. You have enough experience with diets not serving you, and certainly not making you happy long term and in a sustainable way, in a healthy way. Yeah, reach out, please. We're here to help, and we're here to show you how you can transform your life, and it can happen like that. And the beautiful thing about this story that you're about to hear is it did start happening like that with Virginia. So on with the show. So my client came to Heal Your Hunger with many different issues, and look at her now. So Virginia, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for coming on and being a part of this. And this is going to become a podcast episode. So thanks for being so willing and open to share your story. And for those, well, nobody knows this actually, except you. Virginia was actually the woman who inspired the story that I told in my TEDx talk. So if you've watched my TEDx talk, I talk about this woman and her transformation, and even her family's transformation on account of the new actions she was taking. And so, Virginia, it's extra special for me to have you here, especially because you inspired that TEDx talk, and we're over 750,000 views right now.
Oh my goodness.
TEDx talk. Yeah, it caught fire. It really caught fire. This message about emotional eating and self-care, it's really so important and timely. So thanks for coming on and inspiring that, the story that I told my TEDx talk, but so many people who will be inspired by your sharing.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm here. I mean, I'm in a great frame of mind, and a lot of it has to do with just instilling your program into my life every day, and for over a year, and it's going to be with me forever. We've talked about this, but yeah. It really is. It's going to be with me forever.
Love it.
Yeah.
So will you tell a little bit about kind of what your headspace was before you came to Heal Your Hunger, and what you think moved you to start this journey with Heal Your Hunger?
Well, it was interesting. There's a lot of pieces to it, but I think I've always had anxiety, like from early, like from when I was a child. And I found that during the pandemic, it was just starting to, the waves of it were picking up and picking up and picking up. And I didn't join Heal Your Hunger initially to lose weight. I joined Heal Your Hunger because I was intrigued by what the title was, like Heal Your hunger. And what was my hunger? Well, and my hunger was, I think I had I think I do have a bit of an addictive personality. I mean, I was working way too hard. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating well at all. I was taking responsibility for everything and everyone in my life, and it wasn't working for me. And my anxiety level was just going up and up and up. And I run my own business. And so in a lot of ways, I started to feel more and more like I was acting versus being, because I had to be this person that was, super positive and encouraging and all this stuff. But I wasn't feeling that inside. My anxiety was basically running overboard. So, and I knew I had to do something, because the pandemic, I could see another year of this pandemic. And I thought, I'm not going to be good. Like, I'm not going to be good. And so, I kind of inched my way through your program. I started with the Quit Sugar Challenge, and I was so impressed because I was consuming too much sugar. The way I was consuming it might have been interesting. I mean, I didn't eat 3 meals a day. I tended to eat all at the end of the day. And I would be consuming, I say it's, food, sugar, stimulants, right? Like I love coffee, drinking coffee all the time, having a really big dinner. I love dessert. I'd love to drink my wine. It was like, I was out of balance, out of whack. And and I was feeling it within myself. So interestingly, the Quit Sugar Challenge was fascinating. It really worked. It was like, okay, 3 meals a day. Okay. I hadn't eaten 3 meals a day, like since I was a teenager. Like that was
It's
completely,
so basic, and we get so far away from it, right?
oh yeah. It was like 3 meals a day, no snacks. It's like, okay, no sugar, eat clean. Well, that meant I can't have my wine at 5 o'clock, right? Like I got to cut that out. I had to cut all these things out of my life that actually I was totally relying on.
Yeah.
Like that glass of wine at 5 o'clock, I needed that glass of wine and I had to give it up. And so I was doing all these things,
yeah.
and I was feeling all the things that everybody else was feeling, which was all my emotions were spewing out. And I was amazed. Like you would go through your program and I was there like everybody else. And you were saying, you might start to feel certain things. And I did. And so it was like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom and I have to cry because before my next Zoom call, because I'm feeling stuff and I can't keep it in.
Yeah.
I have to let it out. And that was the beginning of this journey where I thought, oh boy, I've got a lot of work to do, like a lot.
Yeah.
But I was finding immediate results, like immediate. And I just really trusted you, Tricia. I continue to trust you. You'll always be in my life because and Heal Your Hunger will always be in my life because it has had the biggest impact on me. And it will always be with me. Like I've no doubt about it. And through the year and all the drama that's happened in the year, with myself, with my work, with my family, etc., I've just gone back to those principles that I've learned through it's the 90-day challenge, and then there's the circle. I've gone through all those programs, and they've changed me. They've taught me that this is something that I have to. Your program is something that I have to follow for the rest of my life. And I'm really excited about that because I am so good when I follow the self-care secrets. It makes all the difference in my life. in all different ways. So I hope I haven't blathered on too long, but
It's
but
great.
that's basically what you've done for me, Tricia. And the
Aw.
community has done for me. Yeah.
Well, you're such a special part of it, and we appreciate you. And it's been such a pleasure to have you in the program and watch what's happened for you. And I think what's really important, what you shared about, is you kind of like spread all your like you had several dependencies, right?
Yes.
So different
Yeah.
things, the sugar, the coffee, the other things that you were doing. Work obviously is a painkiller in and of itself, right? And so we do these different things. So it's not necessarily one thing that you go down the drain with. You sort of spread it out, which can keep you in denial for a long time, because then it's like,
Totally.
right? Like then you're like, no, I'm good. Look how well I'm managing. But you're managing on these crutches that you don't want to lose, which is a dependence. So I love that intuitively you knew you had to go deeper, go to the heart of the matter, so you could let go of the individual crutches and then see what comes up.
Well, I think the big breakthrough for me is when I started to follow just the very beginnings of your program. And I realized I had a lot of emotions that I had to get out that I hadn't expressed.
Yeah.
I kind of explained that at the beginning, like I felt like I was acting at work, like I was being the good boss, but I wasn't feeling the good boss. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Oh
there's a real
yeah.
dichotomy in
Yes.
who I had to be as a person, as a, as a wife and partner, as a mom, as a boss, as a human walking through this earth. Like there was a dichotomy with who I had to be versus how I was feeling. And there was anxiety, and the anxiety was really emotions. It was just emotions that needed to get out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And so I just followed. And so I came in wanting to go deep because I had had anxiety my whole life and I didn't want to live with it anymore. It was running over. And so, yeah, I begun. And what happened was I could tell in very, like, after, I think probably that's why I went straight into the 90 day, like after Quit Sugar, I went straight into that program, is I thought, wow, I've got a lot of work to do. And then it was starting to impact my anxiety. I was starting to feel less anxiety. And I was going, what's going on here? Like, this really works.
Wow.
And it's that, so to me, heal your hunger. When I started to do the self-care and I started to like eat, like take away all screens, right? Eat 3 meals a day, be present, meditate, journal, all this stuff. And it's like, walk, go for beautiful walks and see nature and be present. I was always thinking about something else, right? My whole life it's been, I got to do this, got to do that, got to be there, got to, yeah. Have I done everything I need to do? Like my mind was just churning and churning. And then all of a sudden, everything started to quiet down. But I was actually more productive because I wasn't spinning so much. That was the other thing. I thought, there's no way I'm going to have the time in my day to do the self-care. I thought, there's just no way. I'm far too busy. And then I realized that actually I was spinning so much. Like the amount of time that my brain would spin in the day, and I wasn't actually getting, it was a huge, like there were so many aha moments as I worked through the program. And it was really, I felt better immediately. But then I knew for the day. And then I'd have another day, and so it was very much an incremental thing. But I realized after the 90-day experience that I had to really build this into my life, because it had to be ingrained within me so that I wouldn't go back to feeling the way I used to feel. So
Yeah.
you really have changed my life. Like, and my relationships got better. Not that I had terrible relationships, I had good relationships, but I wasn't present. Like, I mean, being present in the moment with people and not, it makes all the difference. It really does. It's amazing. I don't, it seems so simple. Your program seems so simple, but it's so powerful. It's incredible. So yeah.
Aw, thank you for sharing all that. I'm sure there are women listening who are like, oh, I know that spin. Oh, I know
Yeah.
about being not present, so
Yeah.
yeah, and anxious and anxiety is big for emotional eaters. And I loved that that was what you clued into right away. It's like, my anxiety is coming down immediately and it's not running me anymore. And that was so beautiful. So, so beautiful. And you really weren't focused on losing weight at all. And yet I think you did lose weight anyway.
I did lose weight. I lost at least like 18 pounds. So I'm 18 pounds lighter. So yeah. And I'm fitter and I'm healthier. So yes, I lost 18 pounds. And but I want to talk. So yes, I lost weight.
Yeah, that's only one of the many things, but I love that you lost weight with that, because I tell people all the time, in my program, we don't focus on weight loss, but it's a byproduct.
Oh, it's huge. Yes, I did lose weight. And again, I'm now at I have 3 daughters, and I'm now at my kind of, super fit after baby number 1 weight. I'm not before baby number 1, but I don't want to be before baby number 1. I'm a woman in my 50s. I don't need to be that slim.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything. So yes, I lost 18 pounds when that wasn't my purpose at all.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I feel so much better. Like, other things were happening to me physically that I just thought was age.
Yeah.
Like, I would have, my hips were getting sore, and it was like, oh, and my energy was really out of whack. And my back was getting sore, and that's all gone.
Yeah.
Like, gone. I do not have any pain. There's no pain. I feel so much physically better. And I mean, and I felt that immediately. Interestingly, it again happened very quickly once I started to follow the program. It was like, so I've learned, how you talk about your body being kind of like, you start to listen to your body, you start to listen to your spirit, you start to listen to yourself, and you can feel, I can now feel what happens when I eat something that's not good for me. I could not do that before because I wasn't present. Now I am. And the thing is yeah, so I have no pain. I thought I was going to have arthritis. I thought there was, I thought that was coming on. And as a woman in my 50s, okay, I guess, it comes, what's gone. So, like, I can't even begin to tell you so many different aspects of my life, how they've changed.
Wow.
But yeah, that's another benefit.
Amazing. Let's talk about another benefit that I'm sure you didn't expect, that I referred to in my TEDx talk. And that's, your family noticed mom was onto something.
Yeah, no, it was true. We were, so I have 3 daughters, and, we were right in the height of the pandemic, and I was starting to feel a lot better. And, one of my daughters was saying, well, we were talking about it, and she was going through a lot of change in her life. And I said, you could, she was curious about it. And I said, well, why don't you just try the quit sugar challenge and see what you think. And again, she's a bit like me, in that she's got a lot of energy. She's a very positive person. She's a bit of a people pleaser like me. And of course, so she tried it and she liked it. And so she said, could I continue? And I said, yes, I hope, because it's had so much of an impact on me. She was finishing high school, about to go to university. And I thought, my God, like if I have an 18-year-old that would actually take this program at that age, it would be amazing, because she's going to be leaving home and she's going to be on her own. And to have this program's guidance, direction, self-reflection, health, all these things. So she did it. And again, she follows the program and we talk about the program.
Wow.
And it's brought us closer together. And not even that we talk about the program, but because we're both more present, and we can just talk in a more, I guess, a more personal way, a deeper way, with ease. I don't know how to, it's hard to describe, but yeah, she's actually, sometimes it's like she's so good at the self-care. So I've got it. Like sometimes she pushes me, but then sometimes I push her. So yeah, so that's been really great too. Yeah. And I've talked about it with my family. I adore my family. I'm very family oriented. And yeah, I've talked about it to various members of my family, because we all come from, we all have similar traits.
Yeah.
We're family.
Yeah.
Right?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's a family condition, really. I mean,
yeah,
it gets passed down. It's just the way it is until you interrupt with a new way of living.
That's right. And it's helped me in my relationships with family, for sure. Because again, yeah, it's really improved my relationships. Not that, I had good relationships, but I feel like my relationships again have been improved across the board, whether it be family, work. And I guess the big thing is, heal thyself, right? This is the term we hear, but what does that mean? And your program has illustrated what it means. And it's every day, like it's forever. But
a
man,
day at a time.
but I sure like living, in that way. It's night and day.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. And we did have your daughter. She was so good to come on and share her experience. And something she shared also was that her next step for university, she gained courage through the program. She gained courage to go overseas, right? And do the university program in film, and that was, taken after mama. And that was so cool that she came more grounded in herself to have that courage and to step out in a bold way like that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I think that I think especially at a time when she'd been so kind of locked down, right? In Toronto, lots of kids are, doing online school for months and months and months on end, and then they graduate and then they have to get out into the world after 2 years of this lockdown open. And it does have, it has the impact that it has. But yeah, this it's made me to this. I'm also remaining courageous in times of change. We can all say without a shadow of a doubt, we are in massive times of change.
Yeah.
So yeah, the program gave her courage. It gives me courage because I work in an industry where you have to have faith. You have to come up with ideas, like your ideas create your work. And sometimes you just go, oh my goodness, I couldn't possibly have another idea, or, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? And in a lot of ways, it allows you to stay stay in a really positive place by dealing with your emotions, whatever those emotions may be, fear, frustration, anger, resentment, like all these things that we all deal with.
Yeah.
But do we deal with them? I mean, your program, you actually get them out.
Yeah.
So then they're not there. So then it's like, oh, okay, I guess. And then you get to go for a walk and realize, hey, it's not so bad. I used to be quite hooked on the news. I used to watch the news all the time as a member of the media. And I realized, like, I was hooked on the news. Like, I was hooked on screens as well. Like, your program is fascinating because it relates to food. It relates to kind of consumption.
Yes.
Like, what do we consume? What do we bring into ourselves?
Yeah.
And so I just started to kind of get rid of a lot of stuff. And it's been really good. Yeah.
More peaceful for sure.
Yeah. And it allows you to kind of follow, let your heart drive you forward.
Yeah.
And of course, you still have to maneuver, and life is never going to be easy, but it does help you clarify or feel better in just walking through life. And that, I think, brings good things to you. I hope so. Anyway, it seems to, for me, it's been
certainly
great.
Seems to, and it's working, and it's your family's benefiting. And I just love it. It's so positive and so beautiful to hear. I really appreciate your coming on and talking about this stuff. And I know it will inspire many, to really show us what your life is like now and how powerful that is. There's no diet that could give us that kind of new life and new transformation into just a better life, a happier life, a more peaceful life. And like you were saying on the works front, the creativity, it's like when we're not obsessed, when we're not stuffing all our feelings, it's like we have space, and that's where the creativity can come into our lives, and we can be open and aware of what those divine ideas are. So
yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh, well, thank you so much. It's so good to have you. I really appreciate you taking the time. You are a very busy woman, so thanks for taking the time to come and share. And we just love you so much, Virginia. And we're so, you're always family to us. So thanks for being a part of the Heal Your Hunger family, and for sharing so much inspiration for other people. We really appreciate you.
Wow, right back at you. I'm going to do that because that's your thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.